Time for the pre-final for DD2 and DD2 Masters. Here's your starting grid. Pole position goes the way of Nicolas Guillaume in the 444. Alongside on the front row will be the 421 of Imke Arts. Axel goes in the 455 and the 440 of Yuri Clairbeau will line up on row 2. Sam Knopfjes and the winner for the DD2 Masters in the heat, the 555 of the legend that is Mr. Christoph Adams. Jessis Barnes in the 418 will be joined by DD2 Masters veteran Carl Clairbeau on row 4 in the 540. Luca Neuenhausen and Wim Rouleau will round out the top 10. Dominic Hummels, Niels Böhler, Rick van der Stad, Izan Kielstra and Marit Vassod round out the top 15. Completing the 21-strong grid are Bas van Vlimmeren, Ronan Lesour, Christophe Lesour, Tom van Weert, Douglas Knoll and Jan de Brandt. Brandt's got a point to prove after what happened in the heat earlier on, after unfortunate contact. We saw his rear bumper go flying skyward after contact coming through out of turn number 1 and then ending up straight on off of turn 2 and out. So the formation lap is now officially underway, ahead of another 10-minute plus an additional lap race. The finals will take place over 10 minutes plus an additional lap for Mini and Mini Rookie. All other classes will take place over 12 minutes plus an additional lap. Local time now, 2:50 p.m, so around about just under 15 minutes behind schedule, obviously with the red flag earlier. So we are waiting for the... So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry. You can see that there's over 240 people watching the stream at the moment. So thank you very much for joining us. So I say that tips under 240. Fate of circumstance, not commentator's curse, I'm afraid. Oh, and we have had one of the drivers go around, must be Sam Knopfjes, but manages to get back into position as the other drivers let him through. Well, they do like to keep us waiting, don't they? The DD2 and the DD2 Masters drivers. There's always a psychological game in this 2-speed gearbox class. But Guillaume and Arts on the front row. And they are absolutely at a snail's pace round about now. But, as they say, it is the calm before the storm. So, we now head into the tram lines. Red lights on the gantry. Revs rise. Lights are out. We are underway. Well, Imke Arts not getting the best getaway at all, and there's a spinner coming off of... Now, that was Carl Clairbeau off at turn 1 backwards, and he kept it out of the barriers. Oh, Imke Arts had a dreadful start, and Carl Clairbeau found himself spinning around backwards. And Imke Arts is out of the top 5. Things are getting a bit tetchy out there in terms of grip underneath the 4 contact patches, more commonly known as tyres. Carl Clairbeau found that out the hard way. And even him, someone of his experience and the amount of championships that he's won for both B&L and also a previous BMC champion, that even he can get it wrong sometimes. It's like driving on sheet ice if you're on parts of the circuit where there is standing water. You aquaplane off, you hit the brakes, and then there's someone getting a really, really good run coming out of the final right-hander. Nicolas Guillaume leads the way. Second, it's Axel Goes, 1.3 seconds adrift. And it's Christoph Adams. It was Christoph Adams that was you know what? He's still got some tricks in the book as Christoph. He's called time on his Grand Finals career, but wherever he enjoys going racing, he will go there and have fun. So there's Sam Knopfjes battling away with Jordi Kleber, and they're nearly bumper to bumper. They've got Luca Neuenhausen not too far behind as Kleber spins through turn 4 right on the racing line. Oh dear, Jordi, where did it all go wrong? I think he might have been a little bit too heavy on the right-hand side pedal. And now, Luca Neuenhausen, representing the Brand Racing colours, of course, Danny Brandt. Now, these days, based in the Emirates, but also on the odd occasion when Tony Hogg decides to come over to continental Europe to race. They're both like, they're thick as thieves. They're brothers in arms, those two. But good people to know. But Guillaume is going to try and expand that gap. New fastest lap by the race leader, and an extension on the gap to 1.8 seconds. Christoph Adams is third and leading Masters. Neuenhausen ahead of Knopfjes. Jordi Kleber has got Dominic Hummels on his case. Now, for those looking at home, have you noticed the differential in the lighting? Not the lightning, the lighting of the circuit at certain points. Going through into turns 1, 2 and 3, it is a lot darker than some of the rest of the circuit because there are significantly greyer clouds around that part. So Marit Fassot, well, she's done a very good job as Marit, up 7 places from 15th and is currently running P8 overall, but P6 in Max DD2. Rick van der Straat also up 4 places from 13th on the grid, and now currently is 9th ahead of Imke Arts. And there are the 2 drivers. Oh, Marit's just lost it coming out of Escargot. The 441 manages to turn it back the other way. So that will be Van der Straat through, and Fassot down to 9th. And again, just with 6 minutes to go, it's like treading on eggshells at the minute. You don't know where to. Sometimes you don't know where the grip is until you absolutely find it. When you do find it, you find that sweet spot. You find that place where it's like, yep, this is going to be good. As I've just seen, coming out of turn number 3, Jordi Kleber has just got past Sam Knopfjes. So Wim Roudot and Christophe Lessor have tumbled to 17th and 18th in the running order. Ton van Weert has dropped down to 20th. Again, it's just about trying to do what you can. I think that was Kian de Brandt I've just seen in the 458. Now up 5 places from last on the grid. Still has a rear bumper attached. As yeah, there are some of the drivers that are just struggling out there. Oh, and we've had an off. That was the 509. Christophe Lessor. Now, where was that? That was turn 3. Has just gone off and managed to get the kart back onto the circuit. A couple of drivers, which includes, so that is now, yeah, that is Christophe Lessor. And who's in front? I think it might be the 552 Bas van Vlimmeren, who's also struggling a little bit. So there is the 441 of Marit Fassot closing in. I think that's, now who is that in front? That looks to be Dominic Hummels, if I'm very much mistaken. I think, looks to be, no, it's the 422, Lisanne Kielstra. So, yeah, so Marit has now dropped to 10th place. I remember being at Circuit Park Berghem for round 2 of chrono karting, where Lizanne was actually involved in a very, very big incident for DD2, but walked up, got away, came back, and went racing again. So that's one very gutsy young individual. But also a very smiling, happy-go-lucky person. Blue flags now being waved at drivers coming out of turn number 3. Still got 3 minutes and 25 seconds plus an additional lap to go. So, running order at the moment is Nicolas Guillaume, who also has the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.547, 3.2 seconds ahead of Axel Goes. Christoph Adams. Oh, now this is getting interesting. Christoph Adams is faster at the moment than Axel Goes. I never thought I'd say that in the same sentence, but the weather can be a great equaliser, can't it? And Christoph Adams last time around did a 1 minute 12.886, personal best. And then Axel Goes 1 minute 13.171, so was nearly 0.3 of a second slower. There's Imke Arts, who just has so much steering wheel correction that Imke's having to do at the moment and is struggling. She's currently 12th at the moment, ahead of Jessie Spans, not too far behind. Well, it's either Jessie Spans or, oh dear, we've got an off. That is Zem Knopjes out of the race. And that now, where is that? That is coming out of Escargot, I believe. It is. Marshall running to the cart to get it out of the way. So Zem Knopjes out of the race on lap number 7, I'm afraid. Real shame. So whether Sem was running with a technical problem, and there is the race leader about to put a lap on him. So Guillaume in the 444 SB Motorsport entry. Now comes through out of Escargot. Back end steps out a little bit as he applies the power. You know, it's like controlled drift. It's like, yep, throttle and lift off. You know, going through a corner and then gently modulate, keep the cart going around. So Guillaume has another new fastest lap. Well, another new fastest lap. Okay, 1 minute 12.324. Axel Goes. Oh dearie me! Now Guillaume's got back marker in front. Now who is he just passed? That is 458. Kian de Brandt. So that's up to 15th. He's put a lap down on. Put a lap on. And there are second and third. Oh dear. Axel Goes. You better get past Kian de Brandt very, very quickly, because you give Christoph Adams an opportunity, he will fully exploit that. 100%. That's just the way he works. I've myself and a lot of the people within not just the Benelux region, but also through the Rotax racing family have known Christoph for many a year. And one of the biggest characters, if not the biggest character within the Rotax racing family. But Guillaume is now out of the final corner. Across the line he will go. Does the 444 for SP Motorsport. And what's the gap between him and Axel Goes? Just under 2.9 seconds. You know what, Christoph Adams, well played, sir, well played. P3, Luca Neuenhausen, new fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 11.708. As we are on to the penultimate lap of this race. Next time around, there is Guillaume, our race leader. He will head over into turn 4. It's been a sterling drive by this young man. And with the nickname Uno Mas, all I'm going to say is Ibiza, school trip, Maxim Drix, you know the other side of the story as well. But it's a nickname that has stuck with this individual and might do so right the way through his racing career. And he's going to see the last lap board this time. Now they're starting to weave off of the traditional racing line. It's starting to dry out now. And try and call the W5s. So last lap board out for Nicolas Guillaume in the 444. Through into turn number 1 here on lap number 10. Gap between him and Axel Goes is now 2.5 seconds. Luca Neuenhausen, 1 minute 10.9. We are now getting into that window where the wet weather tyres have been doing their job. Plus also the fact that there is an evolution. See that dry line that's starting to show? What is that doing? That is overheating the W5 Mojo tyres, which could be an absolute wreck by the end of this race. That depends on, obviously, trying not to take too much out of them too early. But out of the final right-hander, it's going to be the run to the line, and it's been pretty straightforward. Nicolas Guillaume wins the heat, and now wins the pre-final. Winning it by 2.3 seconds ahead of Axel Goes. Félicitations, Christophe Adams. Monsieur Le Casanova, who finishes third in the overall race, but also picks up the win in Masters. Luca Neuenhausen, fastest lap of the race on the last lap, and have been doing that for the last three, takes fourth. Yori Klebo, despite a little spinneroonie at turn number 4, earlier on in the race, he recovers to finish in 5th ahead of Rick van der Slaat, who moved up 7 places from 13th to finish P6. Dominic Hummels second in DD2 Masters, ahead of should be Carl Klebo. Oh no, Carl Klebo got past Dominic Hummels and takes second in Masters in 7th place. Hummels third in Masters, 8th overall. Lisanne Kielster up 5 places from 14th to 9th. Just waiting for a few more drivers to cross the line. And a top 10 finish for Marit Vassot. Jesse Spans takes 11th head of Bas van Vlimmeren. Imke Arts, what a race to forget for the 421. Started on the outside of the front row, finishes 13th head of Ronan Lasso. Kian de Brandt, Wim Hulot, Niels Beuler, Christophe Lasso, Tom van Weert and Douglas Knoll rounding out the 20 finishers. And unfortunately on lap 5, we lost the 420 of Sam Knopfjes.